Had you asked me 4 months ago if we would be here comparing these two TVs, I'd have said, nah, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. For one thing, one is twice the price of the other, and that hardly seems fair. Yet, here we are. Welcome back, everyone. It's your old pal, Caleb Dennison. And I'll be honest with you, it has been difficult getting review samples in during this global pandemic. However, I do have good news. Sony just sent an X950H, which we'll compare to the X900H seen here. You've asked for that. Hisense has also sent an H9G, which we'll compare to the H8G. You've been asking for that. You have not necessarily been asking for these two TVs to be compared to each other, but I wanted to do it anyway. And the reason why is because these value-oriented, budget-minded TVs are looking really good. So good, in fact, that it's getting really tough for me to recommend a TV over $1,000 when the ones under $1,000 are so stinking good. The big question I want to answer today is, what do you get when you pay more? Does the Sony have $700 more in terms of picture quality? Let's find out. Let's start with some basics first. And in terms of aesthetics, the TVs are pretty similar. The pedestal feet are about the same distance apart, and they're both very thin. And then when you look at the bezels of the TV, the Hisense actually has trimmer bezels than the Sony does. The Sony's bezels are attractive, but one of the trade-offs there is that on the Hisense, you're going to get more of a black matrix border along the sides and the top. The remotes, also very similar. They're an old school wand-style remote with some hotkeys to get to your favorite streaming services. Nothing new there. As far as the user interface, it's Android TV, and it runs well on both of these TVs. Getting to your apps and programming is very similar. The only real difference here is that when you get into, say, the settings menu, for instance, you're going to start noticing some difference there. It's a customized experience for either Hisense or Sony. In terms of resolution, they're both 4K. In terms of HDR, they both do HDR10 and Dolby Vision. Neither one of them do HDR10+, and I don't think that's a big deal. In terms of inputs, you get 4 HDMIs on each, but there is a difference there. The Sony is going to support eARC, whereas the Hisense does not. Also, down the road, Sony is supposed to update this TV so that it will support variable refresh rate, which is going to be a big deal for gamers. Now, when it comes to gaming, I'm going to go ahead and give it to the Sony here based on the promise that Sony will enable variable refresh rate in the near future. Its input lag in game mode is 14.5 milliseconds, which is pretty good. The Hisense is a little bit better at about 12 milliseconds, but it's not a significant difference for most people. So with VRR on the way, I'm giving it to the Sony. Now for the part I think people care about most, picture quality. How do these two compare? Well, for one thing, I can tell you that the Sony's black levels are better. It's got a better controlled backlight system. It doesn't have as many zones, but it does manage to tamp down on the halo effect that you see around bright objects on a black background. And just in general, the blacks are deeper on the Sony. Now, as for brightness, this Hisense unit, at least, is significantly brighter than the Sony. On paper, they're supposed to be the same, around 700 to 750 nits as measured through a 10% window. This guy right here is up around 900 nits or so, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, I know that some of you in the comments section have speculated that maybe Hisense sent me some sort of super juiced up unit. I don't think that's possible. First of all, they didn't really have enough time. And second of all, I do a factory reset when I get these anyway, so that any work done on them is pretty much obliterated. And I don't think there's anything that they could be doing in the firmware to super juice up this TV. So I think that I just got a really great sample. I don't know. Whatever the case, the Hisense is brighter. And that means its perceived contrast is better in a brightly lit room than the Sony's is. However, I noticed that when we darken the room down, the Sony has all the contrast in the world, and that's owed mostly to those better black levels. As for color, the Sony wins by a huge margin. Out of box, its color is great. You don't need to touch it. The same is not the case for the Hisense. I did some measurements, and the blue was just way out of whack. And what that resulted in was really aggressive yellows and oranges. I could certainly see it. I don't know how you're going to feel about that. I do think, though, with the Hisense being so much less expensive, you could hire a calibrator and get that taken care of quickly. As for motion, both TVs look virtually the same once you've turned everything off, and they look fine. The Sony, however, does have a feather in its cap in that it has varying degrees of black frame insertion capability. So on the first of 3 settings, it barely dims the picture at all, but significantly increases the motion clarity, which I think is a really big deal. Sony has done this by changing the way it does its black frame insertion in a way that we just don't get from the Hisense. You turn on any kind of black frame insertion on this TV and it cuts to half the brightness. Now, we talked a little bit about contrast before, but we didn't dig into HDR so much. And that's where we start seeing some big differences between these two TVs. Sony is very selective about where they want to put their peak brightness and when they want to preserve shadow detail. And I think it does so better than the Hisense does. Owing to the better black levels as well, you get a better HDR experience overall with the Sony. And that Sony processing also extends even further, especially when you're watching low bitrate content. So if you're streaming stuff online and you're not getting a super high bitrate, there's a lot of opportunity for contouring or color banding. You see this a lot in blue skies where things transition from darker to brighter. And the Sony just handles that better than the Hisense does. And that's because Sony has been doing this a really long time. Their processing is among the best out there. There are other tiny little differences as well. Like the Hisense here struggles with a moire pattern when it looks at these tall buildings with super tight grid patterns on them. The Sony does not. It effectively gets rid of that. So you get a smoother overall picture out of the Sony than you do the Hisense. So in the end, the Sony is the superior television. It does a number of things better than the Hisense, though only marginally so. And they're little things. Sometimes those little things do add up to make a big difference, but I think for most people, the Hisense is the smarter buy. It's significantly less expensive. It does a lot of things very well, and if you can get the color under control, you're going to be thrilled with this TV. The Sony, however, is a better TV for video enthusiasts, TV enthusiasts who really care about those fine details. It's just interesting to me that to get to those premium details, you're going to have to pay such a premium price. Thanks as always for watching, everyone. Let me know in the comments section which side you fall on, Sony or Hisense. And is the Hisense H9G the one we should really be looking at? We'll definitely do that. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and as always, visit digitaltrends.com for the latest tech news and reviews.